Oh, I'm live. Just kidding. I knew that. How's it going, everybody? Oh, it's Monday. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a pretty fun weekend. I actually did a photo shoot yesterday. Really awesome photo shoot. There was a piano. It may or may not have been on fire. I'm not sure the legalities of what happened. What we did, and but it's okay. There was a flaming piano involved. It was very fun. Thanks everyone for joining. I appreciate seeing you all here. It's gonna be a fun, exciting week. We've got voter fraud, ballot harvesting fraud that's happening. I don't know if you heard, but Biden's kind of on the chopping block. We'll get into that later. It's going to be really interesting. Sir David Attenborough broke some records on Instagram, which is, I'm going to talk about it. There's something about that makes me so happy. And I'll explain why later. And then we got this American that got arrested in Thailand for, I guess, leaving a bad review online. Yes, and I have a few things to say about that as well. So we're going to be getting into that. Really fun. Before we do, thanks all for joining. Please subscribe. It really does help my channel grow. Smash that like button. You know you want to. I see a lot of people have already smashed. I really appreciate each and every one of you for doing that. Thank you so much. And share this video. Share all my videos. And it really does help me grow. I think the most actually brings the most people to my channel, the most exposure for me. So sharing really does help me out. I really do appreciate you for doing that. We're also going to talk. I got a few other things that I actually couldn't fit in the title. I don't know how many people are sci-fi book readers, but The Wheel of Time has confirmed some actors for different characters for the TV show that is official. So I'm pretty excited about that. I love The Wheel of Time. It was one of my favorite book series, and we're going to see what that means, who they are, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit. And then also, multiple bodies of water were found under the surface of Mars. So this is pretty incredible, actually. And then I also have this interesting story about a Frenchman who was let go from being a kindergarten teacher because he's completely covered in tattoos and he has black pupils. The whites of his eyes have been tattooed black. Or I don't know if they're tattooed. They're surgically altered, whatever. And, he's upset, but he's also scaring 3-year-olds, and rightly so. It's kind of a weird story. So I'm going to talk about that. So yeah, anyway, thanks for joining. Let's dig into it. This is on everyone's, and if it wasn't on everyone's minds, it should be. This is pretty insane, this stuff. Project Veritas does it again. They uncover a ballot harvesting fraud in Minnesota. I mean, I gotta be honest though. I'm not really surprised at any of this. This is kind of what I really have been suspecting for a while. But let's read about it here. This is from the New York Post. A ballot harvesting racket in the Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar's Minneapolis district, where paid workers illegally gathered absentee ballots from elderly Somali immigrants, appears to have been busted by undercover news organization Project Veritas. These guys are on it. One alleged ballot harvester, Liban Mohammed, the brother of Minneapolis City Council member Jamal Osman, is shown in a bombshell Snapchat video rifling through piles of ballots strewn across his dashboard. I've seen this video, and it really is. His car is just covered in ballots. Let's see here. Just today, we got 300 for Jamal Osman, says Muhammad, a.k.a. King Liban 1 in the video. I have 300 ballots in my car right now. Numbers don't lie. As you can see, my car is full. All these here are absentee ballots. Look, all these are for Jamal Osman, he says, displaying the white envelopes. Money is the king of the world, and a campaign is driven by money. Oh my goodness. So I actually have I'm just going to go right to this is from Project Veritas here. Of course, it's not news guarded because, they probably hear it. Can you see the news guard? There it is. So you can see in the little corner here, I got news guard. I use it because, Tim suggested it. And it does make it a little easier to be like, this is legit. Although Project Veritas, they got insiders that are just doing it. So here's directly from Project Veritas. This is about it here. Ilhan Omar connected cash for ballots voter fraud scheme corrupts elections. These here are all absentee valleys. Look, my car is full. This is who they were talking about there. Now, this is insane. So I guess let me just explain what ballot harvesting is before we continue. So ballot harvesting is allowing someone to come to your house, collect your ballot for you, and bring it in and like actually submit it to the government. Now, in most states, it's limited to 2 or 3 people. Like, you can't do it for 300 people. 3 is the max. In California, actually, in 2018, they repealed that law, and they said, nope, you can have any amount of people collect your ballots. It doesn't matter. So, funny enough, California went really, really blue after 2018, after they got rid of that. So, already, I'm really suspect here. Let's see here. So this is from the previous article, but this is a paid voter. When we sign the voting document and they fill it out, is when they give us the money. So they're straight up being paid for these ballots. The minute we sign the ballot for the election, that's when we get paid. This is just bullet points here. I'll keep reading though. Ballot harvesting triangle, River Plaza Apartments, Horn Towers Seniors Community, and 980 Hennepin polling site, all subject to fraud. So this is pretty expansive. This is what I caught. I mean, you can watch the interview, and it's fairly long. Right here at the end, when they were talking to this person, the source was disguised because obviously they would be a target. But this one source who they were talking to was explaining how they would come in and just take the ballots from these old people. They wouldn't even ask or pay them. They were just, where's the ballot? Oh, did you just get the ballot? Oh, okay. Yoink. They're old. What are they going to do? Chase these people down? No, they didn't. They are collecting them over and over and getting paid per ballot that they're collecting. So that's one part of it. And then they're reporting that these people were carrying bags of cash to pay here. No. And the ones that didn't vote on ballots, the young people and the women and stuff, they were paying cash, she said. They were carrying bags of money, and when you vote, they mark you off, and you get and then you get in the van, and they give you cash. They're literally giving money for their votes, essentially, buying votes. This is fraud at the highest level. They're literally buying the election. Was Ilhan Omar, was she duly elected? Now I have my doubts. You know, I was already a little suspect of her because all the different controversies, her marriage, is she legal status? I don't know. I didn't want to get into that because that's like a whole nother side of this. You know, this is pure and simple voter fraud. They're buying the election. Now, when I started looking into this, random things started popping up. And then I came across this article. This is from Patrick Howley. Biden's Texas political director accused of illegal ballot harvesting at Texas Supreme Court. This is craziness. The Joe Biden campaign's Texas political director has been formally accused of helping to run an illegal ballot harvesting operation, according to 2 separate affidavits filed Monday at the Texas Supreme Court. 2 private investigators, including a former FBI agent and former police officer, testify under oath that they have video evidence, documentation, and witnesses to prove that Biden's Texas political director, Dallas Jones, and his cohorts are currently hoarding mail-in and absentee ballots and ordering operatives to fill the ballots out for people illegally, including for dead people, homeless people, and nursing home residents in the 2020 presidential election. Wow, this is nuts. So this is today. This just happened. So this is exactly why they want mail-in voting, so that, and that's why they're extending 13 days, 6 days, you know, for after November 3rd. So, you know, so that they can continue to collect all this and then send them in and change the election how they see fit. This is what's happening. They're doing this right now. everyone should be talking about this. This is ridiculous. So we've been talking about, is voter fraud real? Is voter fraud really going to happen? Is it just a conspiracy? No, this is actually happening. They got a bunch of evidence. What is it? It's a former FBI agent and a former police officer testifying under oath, and they have video evidence, documentation, and witnesses to prove that this is happening not just in Minnesota. It's happening in Texas. California has been ballot harvesting for a long time. They fought to basically take it away that you can only harvest for 2 or 3 people. Now you can do it. There's no limit. Check this out. 12 states here: Alaska, California, Connecticut, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Maryland, Oregon, South Carolina, South Dakota, and Virginia, along with the District of Columbia, allow voters to designate someone to return their ballot. That's what ballot harvesting is. Some states, like Maryland, require the collector to submit a signed statement under penalty of perjury. California formalized the use of ballot harvesting in 2016 in a move that some attributed to Republican losses in typically red congressional districts. The original law placed a limit on the number of ballots a person could collect, but the law was altered in 2018 and removed the cap. Yeah, so this is happening. This is happening. Here, I'll read on. 10 of the states that allow a ballot collector: Arizona, Florida, Massachusetts, Michigan, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas, have additional laws mandating that the collector is a verified relative or legal guardian. So in the Project Veritas reporting, they're actually talking about how does one become verified to become a ballot harvester? How do you know that they're verified? And they were digging in. They were like, how do I find out how to become verified? How do you become verified? Oh, they're verified because, 12 people in that house, verified them. And then they went to the house, and it was a tiny little house. It's like 12 people don't live in this house. And then the more you look into it, they had people coming in from different places, registering to vote in that area, and then going home after the election. This is stinking. There is all sorts of stink all over all of this. So voter fraud is very real. The more people that know about it, the more people that are spreading this around, the more people are looking into it, the more light that's going to be shown on this. This is really important. We need to get our elections under control. This isn't a partisan issue. I'm not trying to say turns out this is all Democratic places, but it doesn't matter. I just want I just want our election under control. It doesn't matter who wins. I don't want it to be false. I don't want there to be fraud involved. And there's clearly fraud involved. This is crazy to me. And now that we're finding that Biden's team's doing it in Texas, this is ridiculous. I don't know how to make this a thing. Everyone needs to be voting in person. And if you need to do an absentee ballot, then there should be I don't know. It feels like we put a hoop to jump through, and everyone figures out how to jump through the hoop. No matter if you're doing it in the legalist manner, because you're actually the type of person who needs absentee ballots to be able to vote. Like we have an American astronaut that's going to be voting from space using an absentee vote. Or I don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but it's pretty interesting. But man, this kind of stuff is the reason it feels like we're losing control of our country. And, when we have Ilhan Omar basically openly saying we need to bring down the government, it's like, wait a minute, hold on. You want to raise everything to the ground, but you don't have, an alternative. You just want to get rid of the status quo right now because this is terrible. No. We have an amazing thing going on. We have a constitutional republic. It works well when it's not trying to be undermined, when it's not trying to be taken over by people that don't like the fact that we're a free country that's showing the world what being free is about. We have to maintain that. We have to fight back for this, and I think that's going to be, I personally think there's going to be a landslide that's going to happen this November, because I feel like they can't stop the internet. The internet is is live. We're all able to look up whatever we want to look up. And when you stop looking at the mainstream media for all your news, you start following Tim Pool, for example. You know, he sits on the fence perfectly, but he gives you the news how the raw news. You get the actual truth of the matter. Of course, he gives his opinion on it, but you're going to hear what's actually happening. And people are like, he's blowing up, and I'm really happy for him. You know, it's really awesome because that's who people need to look for their news, not the mainstream media. You got to go out and get that information for yourself. And if you can't, you got to go to a verified source, someone that you know will at least give you the truth of the matter. You know, so and that's what I try to do. You know, sure, everyone has their biases. That's gonna exist in all cases. Of course, Tim, tries to really ride the line in the center. You know, because he is a good reporter in that sense. You know, because that's how a reporter should do things. They shouldn't be partisan when they're giving people the news. The news should almost be boring. Here's the news. This is what happened. Period. Done. Like that doesn't happen anymore. Everyone's pushing their bias. Everywhere, nonstop, pushing it down your throat. Washington Post just came out. We're endorsing Joe Biden. It's like, you're a newspaper. Why are you endorsing anyone? You're supposed to be a newspaper. You're supposed to be news. That's ridiculous to me. Why is that? It just, all right. I mean, I feel like I'm getting off on a tangent, but that's all right. I mean, the election's coming. We have a debate tomorrow. How many of you are watching the debate tomorrow? I cannot wait to watch this debate. I'm so excited. I probably won't have a show tomorrow because I am going to be, as soon as I end the show tonight, I'm going to be breaking this all down and packing and moving to the new location tomorrow. And it's kind of fitting that tomorrow is going to be the debate because I'm going to be watching it. I know a lot of people have been asking me to stream the debate. I don't want to strike on my channel. I know Crowder got a strike from live streaming the town hall with Joe Biden last week. So I think I'm going to just watch the debate. I really want to soak it in. And also I'm going to be moving. So I have a lot to do tomorrow and tonight. So it's going to be a long couple days, but it's going to be really exciting. I don't know how many of you have seen the new location from watching Tim, but he's been, posting videos of the new skate ramp that had built. I love skate ramps. I'm a really big fan of skateboarding in general, but skate ramps are definitely my jam now lately. I prefer that over longboarding. I prefer that over street skating. It's definitely my jam. So, and I don't know if he's mentioned it publicly, but that's all right. I'm gonna say it. But he's building a incredible indoor skate park, skate ramp, which makes me even more excited because I love skating ramps. So, really looking forward to that, and that's gonna be good. So anyway, I've moved away from the ballot fraud, but I feel like I covered it. There's still a lot that is coming out about it, and especially with this Joe Biden's campaign political director being formally accused of ballot harvesting illegal ballot harvesting, because ballot harvesting in itself is not illegal. But when you pay people for their ballots and you harvest hundreds at a time, that gets awfully illegal. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to move on, and let's talk about this next thing. This is really interesting. An American could face prison in Thailand after posting negative reviews of a resort. This is crazy, but then when you think about it, it sheds some light on a problem that I want to address. Let's read about this first. The man was arrested under Thailand's criminal defamation law, which has been used to silence critics and stifle dissent. The hotel has brought charges acknowledges that using the law might be excessive. Well, it's a little late, I think. An American man who lives in Thailand was unhappy that a resort hotel wanted to charge him a $15 corkage fee for bringing his own bottle of gin to the restaurant. He argued with the manager and then later did what has become second nature for disgruntled tourists. He posted a negative review of the resort online. The hotel, the Sea View Koh Chang Resort on the island of Koh Chang, was equally unhappy with the guests and what it saw as his one-man campaign to damage its reputation. Unable to reach him or halt his posts on TripAdvisor, the resort filed a complaint with the Thai police under the country's harsh defamation law. As a result, the guest, Wesley Barnes, was arrested this month and spent a weekend in jail. If convicted for criminal defamation, he faces up to 2 years in prison. It's pretty crazy. If the Seaview was hoping to win back its good name, seeking help from the police backfired badly. Mr. Barnes' arrest has set off condemnation online, negative news stories, and burst of bad reviews for the resort. A hotel manager said that the resort was receiving death threats from foreigners. Jeez, that's crazy. Here's a quote: "Not sure why the geniuses in charge here think that locking someone up for damaging their reputation with a deserved bad review is going to help their reputation," read one review on Google Post Monday by someone calling themselves Wholesome Bot. Nice. You know, that gets into it, but what I want to talk about is I was talking to a bunch of experts about space and just kind of the future of politics involving space, but something came up that was really interesting. And that's how we as Americans, obviously I can really only talk about myself, and America is a massive place. A lot of people don't really understand. A lot of people outside America kind of think that we're all kind of the same person. All Americans are the same. And that couldn't be so much farther than the truth. We're just like the EU. Germany is so drastically different from France, but they're right next to each other. So, you know, people on the East Coast in New York are very different than people that live in Florida or people that live in Iowa or the Pacific Northwest, for another example. And something that struck my ear, I guess, was we as Americans tend to feel like everyone thinks that the way we do, you know, that the laws that are here in America are global. Whenever we travel anywhere, those laws uphold. They're the same. A lot of them live in this bubble of, I'm an American, so our rights as an American supersede anywhere we go, everywhere we go. And this article really kind of to shed light on that, the fact that they're so wrong. We are spoiled by our laws. I think our laws are the Constitution is an incredible document that gives us a lot of rights that we cherish and for many take advantage of and don't even know the Constitution. I personally don't really know the full Constitution. I should study it more. And I think it should be a highlight of schooling nowadays in America. We need to know what the Constitution is, how countries were run by monarchies instead of the people, and that's what the Constitution is. It's the people. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject, I feel, but the fact remains, a lot of these younger generations feel like it just extends across the globe. They have the rights everywhere. You know, you can be a Karen if you want to. Now, it's said that this American was living in Thailand, so I don't know if it's a Thai citizen now. Clearly, it's still an American because that's the way that they're presenting it. So this person is like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be a Karen. I'm going to go complain online because of a $15 corkage fee. It's like, yeah, it's a resort. They charge for everything. Are you really that surprised? Come on. It probably is an expensive resort. You brought your own bottle of gin. I mean, $15. I bet you still would have saved money instead of buying a bottle of gin from the bar there. You know, okay, $15. Tack it on to, you know, however much else you're spending to be at a resort in Thailand. I don't know. I've never been to Thailand, so I don't know what the pricing is on anything. I heard that it's fairly cheap to go to Thailand and live. So, but it's just shining this light on this. I don't want to necessarily say selfish nature and I don't want to say of Americans, because as I said earlier, we're so drastically different. All Americans, there's so many of us. There, you know, over 300 million of us, and we live in such drastic different places. I've been to Alaska. People in Alaska are so different than everywhere. I've traveled all across America. I haven't been to the Pacific Northwest. To be honest, I don't know how much of an interest I have in exploring the Pacific Northwest right now, but that's okay. But it doesn't matter. People are all different. But there's something that seems uniform with this younger generation that's complaining about America, that's complaining about, the powers that be here, because it's so bad, it's so terrible, and they have no idea where you can live in a country where you leave a bad review online, some say rightly so, and you face 2 years of prison time. Over $15. Who cares? Whatever. If you're going to a resort where they're charging you $15, I'm pretty sure Thailand's a cheap place to live comparatively. Come on. We got to pop the bubble on these people, And actually, that brings me up to my positive note. This is a different story, but I'm going to kind of intertwine them, okay? Check this out. The world's most beloved 94-year-old naturalist says his Instagram record brings great hope. You're absolutely right, Sir David Attenborough. You're absolutely right. Now, that's the Washington Post. Bye-bye. I don't really want to give them any... Anyway. He said it. It's a great hope. Check out what he did, though. And then I'm going to talk about it. Look at this. He beat the record, Instagram record holder, for the fastest to get to 1 million followers. 4 hours and 44 minutes. That's crazy. 4 hours. Jennifer Aniston, 5 hours, 16 minutes. Duke and Duchess of Sussex, 5 hours and 45 minutes. King Daniel, 11 hours. Pope Francis, 12 hours. David Beckham, 24 hours. Now, look at that right there, okay? Look at who's on that list. Actress, monarchs, celebrity musician. Okay, the Pope, I'll give it to the Pope. That makes sense. And then another celebrity, David Beckham, soccer player, football player, depending where you're at. What does this mean? Because he is all about earth. You watch anything of his, it's all about nature, living in nature, bringing light to, something that's important. Nature, earth. Earth is the reason we're here. This air I'm breathing right now. Man, I love breathing air. How about you? It's a pretty good thing, right? I love this. This right here proves to me that people still appreciate nature. I love that. People appreciate nature over Jennifer Aniston. I don't know what her take on nature is. I don't know her take on anything. I know that she's an actress. She was in Friends. I don't know many movies that she was in. That's okay. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I have no need to follow them for any reason. I feel that they're monarchs, and that's basically it. Doesn't matter. But so what I'm talking about earlier, breaking the bubble of this younger generation, I want to get people excited about nature again. I want to get people excited about space. I want to get people excited about the future, right? So this proves to me that there's still some hope. And that's what I'm assuming that's what Sir David Attenborough was referring about. It's a great hope to know that he just broke a record because people want this. They want to know about nature. They want to go into nature. It's beautiful. The oxygen is better. It's cleaner. Walking through the forest feels fantastic. I was just in the forest yesterday. I stood in a lake wearing a suit. Actually, it was quite dapper of me. I don't know if you saw my post on Twitter, but some cool photos are going to be coming from this photo shoot that I was in yesterday. But the air was amazing out there. I lived in New York for, how long did I live in New York? 15 years? Yeah, about 15 years of my life I lived in New York. Almost half my life I've lived in New York. The air sucks there. Every single time I leave New York, I'm like, wow, the air is so fresh out here. Well, yeah, because you're living in a concrete jungle. Anyway, this is good news, because I feel like there's a shift happening. At least I'm really hoping that there is. That's what I want. I would love for there to be a shift towards futurists instead of negative past dwellers. That's what we need. We need positive futurists. That's what I want to be. That's what I strive to be. You know, that's the only choice I feel like you truly have. Excuse me. You can move towards the future, or you can sit there and complain and blame others for your issues, and that is never going to work. And for some reason, actually, I know the reason. It's the internet. The internet has allowed people to clump together. So the people that want to blame others have come together in this big, huge group. And now we're seeing it happen right now. That's who's burning stuff down. That's who's lighting California on fire. They all have got the internet. They've come together, and now they've got power, and they've emboldened each other to do what they're doing. And the people that aren't crazy like that, they're busy working. They're busy enjoying life and not maybe planning for the future, not thinking about negative things in the past. So that's what I want to do. And I feel like that's what this is. You know, him breaking a record. You know, it's cool. Like David Attenborough, like, I'm happy for you. I do enjoy your documentaries. They're fantastic. Watching nature videos are fantastic. It is also kind of sad that you know that, you know, nature's being decimated by not Americans, but the world. You know, just, I mean, I know American greed comes into it because people buy stuff and then buy new stuff and then buy new stuff. You know, the fast fashion, fast furniture, fast food, fast everything. It's crazy. Like, we are stuck in this loop of it's capitalism run almost too far. You know, capitalism is good to an extent, but when you get complacent and you get comfortable, then that's where we are right now. That's why there hasn't been advancements in anything, because everyone's just comfortably living their lives instead of going, we need to propel ourselves into the future and have competition. That's what my episode on Saturday was about. Space needs to be competition. And we're actually getting that now because China's going into space. Now, I don't know how many people know about this, but China, if you watch my episode on Saturday and last Wednesday and the previous Saturday, we've basically been talking about this a lot. China's going to space. China's on the far side of the moon. We don't know what they're doing on the far side of the moon. They've established, they're searching for the South Crater for water. If they find water on the moon and start harvesting it, that's fuel that they can use for rockets to go off of the moon. That is starting competition for us. That's what we need. We need this competition. We need healthy competition that isn't based on military, you know? And I think that a lot of people have this fear of military, myself included. Like, I don't want to go to war with anyone. I want everyone to live a comfortable life. You know, this whole thing about privilege, white privilege, whatever kind of privilege they're trying to oppress you with. You know, if you're telling me I'm privileged because I'm white in this world and I've had a privileged life, I look back at my life and I feel like I've had a privileged life. And I've really enjoyed my life. I love who I've become. I've had some very negative things that have happened to me in my past. I've had some positive things, many positive things in my life, and I want to focus on those. But what I want is, I want everyone to feel that way. I want everyone to feel that they can have a privileged life, and they should, because all humans deserve a privileged life. All of them, every single one. And I want that for everybody. You know, and then you got to think, not everyone cares to have a lot of money or, you know, travel into space or even have a house or have a family, or, you know, some people just don't have any aspirations and have purpose. And I think that's a big problem with the world. We need to bring more of a purpose to people, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can rant about this, and I basically have for a little bit, but I just want the best for everybody. I want everyone to be happy and live comfortable lives. And Sir David Attenborough actually says himself, we've overrun this planet in an interview for his new book that's coming out October 1st, a couple days. And it's he's kind of right. He's when he first started doing just nature videos and videos for the public to now, there's three times the amount of people on this planet. That's nuts. In his lifetime, he's seen the population of the planet triple. So imagine me being, I don't know, I might be a little older than when he first started making videos, but now thinking about it to myself, right now it's feeling awfully crowded. And, we have to figure out how to do this. But in my lifetime, if the population of the Earth triples, that's a lot of people. We're already watching things go extinct. Then you take into account the ecosystems that have a balance, that have existed for millions of years, being disrupted. We have feral hogs taking over in Texas because the predators were probably all killed off, and then deer are overrunning the Midwest because the wolves were all the predators, everything was disrupted. Now they're trying to kill off the mosquitoes in Florida. I think that's what they're trying to do. I don't know what those genetically modified mosquitoes are trying to do in Florida, but we're messing with stuff, and eventually the planet isn't going to be able to sustain this amount of people. 3 times is a lot of people. So in my lifetime, I might see that. I might see it triple. I don't know. But it's crazy to think about. Now, I don't know much about the populations per se, but for him, to talk about that was pretty incredible. It's like, wow, that's a lot of people. So, have we taken over this Earth? Definitely. We're the bosses of this planet. We consider this planet ours, and that's a huge advancement. Now, Elon Musk says, occupy Mars. He's not wrong. Occupy the moon. We need to move into space. It will create jobs. I think that's the biggest thing about moving into space is the amount of jobs. But the problem is we don't have people gearing up for jobs. NASA is working with Tom Cruise. I talked about this last week to film the first movie ever filmed in space next year, 2021. He's going to the International Space Station to film a movie. And NASA's plan was to inspire a younger generation to get into space travel. Now, me personally, I modeled for a long time. That was my professional career for a long time. And I dabbled in acting. I did a Fox pilot for Woody Allen before. I've done little things here and there. I've done a few commercials. I did an Apple commercial, and I actually thought about acting. And I was like, this could be fun. I actually really feel like I can act. And I know there's probably some out there that are laughing at that, but that's okay. You don't bother me. But my first instinct when I saw that he was going to be in space, I don't know if you know much about me. I love space. I want to go to space one day. I will go to space one day. Well, I saw that. I actually tweeted it out. I said, I want to be an actor. It's official. Now I really, really want to be an actor because I might go to space. And then a few hours went by, and I saw some people tweeting about it, talking about the NASA's announcement, saying they're trying to inspire a younger generation, which is cool. To me, I was like, that is awesome. But they were saying they've just inspired an entire generation to want to be actors. And I was like, no, I'm one of them. I literally already tweeted that I want to be an actor now because he's going to space to try to inspire a younger generation. And I've even talked about this many times in the past couple months about how I didn't want to be a YouTuber. I want to inspire people to actually get into sciences and get into space and become astronauts. And here I am, a YouTuber, but most people want to be most kids want to be YouTubers, but that's again to bring up China and competition. Kids in China want to be scientists. They want to be astronauts. Those are their heroes. They glorify scientists and astronauts, and the astronauts are national heroes. How many people can name all the astronauts that we've had in space in the past 10 years? How many? I can't even, and I love space. It's I know Bob and Doug just flew up. That's great. They're awesome. So I know about them. I know Scott Kelly because he did that whole year-long study because he has a twin on the planet. There was actually a really cool documentary that was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is, but it's really interesting. I didn't want to be a YouTuber. I don't want to be a YouTuber. Who am I kidding? This isn't what I want to do for my life. I want to be a musician. I would love to make being a musician my main career. That would be fantastic. I would love to be an actor. In all seriousness, I would definitely like to be an actor. I think I could do it. I have done it before. I've taken acting classes. I'm prepped for it. I know what I'm doing. And I don't know. You know, it's like, what is the key to the future of humanity? And that's a very, very daunting question. Because what is the future of humanity? You know, that's something that we all need to talk about more often. You know, we need to have that question and bring up the younger generations asking that question, because they need to be involved in that, and they're not. We're catering. The whole education system. My goodness, that's a whole nother conversation. But whatever. So that was my rant. I don't even know how I even ended up there. But you know what? It doesn't matter. That's how I roll. All right, so check this out. We got this is a little different. I don't know how many people. This is the Wheel of Time. You guys like the Wheel of Time? How many people like the Wheel of Time? Let me move this over a little bit. I loved the Wheel of Time. It was fantastic. It was one of the best book series I've ever written. I was reading it when Robert Jordan, the original author, died. I was so bummed because I thought that the story would never end, and I was just kind of screwed, and that would be it. So all right, let me just start by saying, whoever's making this TV show, you better not mess this up. Don't you mess this up. Oh my gosh, do not mess this TV show up. Please don't do it. My goodness. All right, so and for those who don't know, Brandon Sanderson actually finished the whole book series. But it was cool because Robert Jordan worked with Brandon Sanderson for the last year of Robert Jordan's life to really talk to him and help him finish the storyline. And he actually wrote the ending himself. So the final book, the end battle, was written by Robert Jordan already. So it's pretty an incredible story there. But so yeah, here Amazon has revealed the first batch of casting announcements for its adaptation of The Wheel of Time. It's nearly the entire cast that kicks off the adventure in the eye of the world, including Nave, Egwin, and 3 central taverns, Rand, Matt, and Perrin. Now, it's interesting saying these names out loud because I never have, actually. It's always been in my head. You know, you read a book, you have your own way of saying any kind of name, like Tavern. That's people that help weave the wheel. Man, what a good book series. So this is going to be Rand al'Thor. Who is this? Joshua Stradowski. All right, that's cool. I'm happy for you, buddy. That's really cool. What an honor, right? That's the main character, Rand al'Thor. And here's all of his names. He's got a bunch of different names throughout because he's prophesized all about it. And here's Marcus Rudda is going to be playing Perrin. Ibarra. Now this guy, that's cool. Like, you never expect to have the actors look like they thought, and they even say it here. This is Barney Harris, who's going to play Matt Cawthon, and he says, who really, really looks how we imagined Matrim Cawthon, and that is true. That is totally what I kind of pictured Matt to kind of look like in my head. And then this is Zoe Robbins, who's going to play Nave. Very cool. She's a very main character. And then here we have Tiger Madden, who's going to play Egwin Al'Vir. Very nice. And that's I'm really excited. This is I love this book series. So I don't know any of these actors actually, and I'm kind of happy about that because I don't have any preconceived notion of the characters that they are. This is seriously the first time I've seen their faces. I think I mean, I might have seen them in different things before. I guess Joshua Stradowski was in Game of Thrones, but I don't. Carice Van Houten. I don't remember who that is, and I guess he's in Aladdin also. Yeah, so I don't know. So I'm very excited about it. I really hope they don't go woke though, because that would really bum me out. Yeah. So check this. So yeah, then I got this last story, which is really interesting. Check this out. This is a Frenchman says tattoos cost him a kindergarten teaching job. You know, France is a crazy place, isn't it? All right, a school teacher whose body, face, and tongue are covered in tattoos, and who has the whites of his eyes surgically turned black, said he was prevented from teaching at a French kindergarten after a parent complained he scared their child. But the teacher, Sylvain Helene, 35, still teaches children from the age of 6 up, and said that after the initial shock, when they see him for the first time, his pupils see past his appearance. That's kind of funny that his pupils. All my students and their parents were always cool with me because basically they knew me, says Helene, who estimated he spent around 460 hours under the tattooist's needle. It's only when people see me from afar that they can assume the worst. He said last year he was teaching kindergarten at the Dr. Memore Elementary School, and here he is there. Paris in Palaiseau, in a suburb of Paris, when the parents of a 3-year-old child complained to educational authorities, they said their son, who was not taught by Helene, had nightmares after seeing him. I mean, look at that. Look at that guy. He is kind of frightening. As a 3-year-old, I'm not really that surprised. Look at him. Dude, you have black eyes. That's frightening. I listened to an interview with him. He does sound like a reasonable person. And it's like, he's very addicted to tattoos. He's talking about how he's going to have 3, 4, 5 layers and eventually will be completely black in tattoos. And it's like, that's fine. And the problem that he was talking about is like, once you get to know me, you see that I'm fine. Well, this 3-year-old is just in that school. You're not his teacher. He doesn't know you at all. He just sees you as a black-eyed, frightening person that gave him nightmares. That's not really surprising. Like, why are you, you're scaring kids. Kids are the future. Kids can get traumatized. And, we gotta, you have to recognize that. Not once he's just being this victim. Like, how dare they not allow me to teach kids because some 3-year-old, once they get to know me, and it's like, you gotta understand though, that they're kids. They have nightmares. They see someone with black eyes. That's different than every single human out there. The whites of our eyes. We all have whites in our eyes. That's part of our eyeballs. It's just a normal human thing. You recognize when someone's looking at you. I can't tell where you're looking. You just have black eyes, and that's frightening. So you frightened a child. Anyway. Well, I didn't realize I've gone way past my normal segment section. So I am going to move on. Read some super chats. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. We've got an amazing like ratio. Fantastic work, everyone out there, for smashing that like button. You guys are professional like button smashers. I really do. I give it out to all of you. Please subscribe, though. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps me grow my channel. Share these videos. Really does help. Become a member. You can actually click join. There it is, somewhere right down there. You can click join. That really helps me propel my channel even more. Really, you directly support my channel growing up, which it is. I'm very excited about it, and that's all thanks to all of you. And let's get into some super chats. The man behind the screen says, smash the like button. Well, in many different emotes, but thanks Oz. Robert Wiles, thank you for becoming a member. Ding, ding. I don't have anything to ding, but thank you for becoming a member. Very, very excited. Cranberry Langer says, Trump 2020 rapid response COVID-19 test, 1 million plus. Yeah, so they actually came up with this new COVID test. It takes 15 minutes. You do it yourself. You don't have to go like deep, like back into the back of the sinuses anymore. You just wipe the inside of your nose, stick it into the test, close it, wait 15 minutes. I guess it changes color or something. And it's pretty incredible. Robert Wiles, after becoming a member, gave a super chat, thank you, says, I wanted to share this. My niece drew a pic when I was still without my fake leg, with me having 2 legs, something she never seen that night. I cried and prayed to God so I would walk again, and now I do. Are you walking? So is your, I know you said you were getting your leg, right? And if you're telling me you're walking, that's great news. Really happy for you, Robert. That's awesome. Swiftner Braveheart says, Adam, your Saturday space conversation was out of this world. That was in all caps there at the end, so I had to, kind of play into it. I think your work with these great minds to raise awareness on space, science, and our planetary future will have its historic impact. Wow, thank you. I didn't really even think about that, honestly. I'm very enthusiastic about space and the future of where we're moving, and I think it's an important conversation. So if you actually did miss that incredible conversation that I had with some amazing minds that joined me on the show, go back. It's Saturday's episode, episode 24. Check it out. It's a conversation about the future of space or something like that, round 2. Very incredible conversation that we had. And thank you, Swiftner. Appreciate that. Dew says, I have a feeling universal mail-in ballots will be abolished if it comes across the Supreme Court. Not talking about absentee ballots. Yeah, mail-in ballots, it definitely seems super sketchy because it's even worse than mail-in ballot or absentee ballots. We've seen this fraud that I was talking about is about absentee ballots. So now you think about mail-in ballots and how they're basically paying people for their absentee ballot. If they can pay people for an absentee ballot, imagine what they could do with a mail-in ballot where they don't have the vetting process. It's not there. They just send the ballots out. It's mail in. You mail it back. Like, whatever. Yeah, I'm just trusting that the system will work. Or someone goes, hey, I'll give you $1,000 for your vote, or $100. Who knows? It's going to be crazy. Andrew B says, get Alex Epstein on the show, please. I don't know who that is. Maybe I'll get in trouble for, I don't even know who that, saying that I don't know who that is. An energy theorist. That's interesting. An industrial policy pundit. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I actually, I have a nuclear futurist that I'm talking to about potentially joining me on the show and talking about the future of nuclear energy and the future of energy in general, because that's a big conversation that we need to have too, because, I mean, we're still using steam powered for most of our stuff. Most dams, dams is hydropower, but nuclear is steam. It's a steam engine still. It's crazy to think about. We're still using a steam engine to power a lot of our everything, electronics. Let's see. John Spock says, boys, let's not be racist about Ilhan Omar. Yes, she's dirty, but that isn't because of her race. Is that what the chat was talking about? Because that pisses me off a little bit. I come on. Thank you, John. It isn't about her race at all. It has nothing. And then he continues here. There are real things to criticize her for, like marrying her brother and this voting nonsense. Let's not stoop to their level, boys. Thank you. Let's not stoop to their level. Don't become racist. That's what they want. People want us segregated. That's the last thing we need to do. You know, we got to come together. We got to be together. We got to understand that we're all humans. We all bleed red. I know that's like an old saying, but it's so true. There's always going to be someone that's going to be dirty. There's always going to be bullies. And bullies just pick on the victims, the people that victimize themselves and are easy pickings for for bullies, they'll bully that person for whatever that person is. It doesn't matter what you are. And that's just because there's bullies. And they will always exist. That's just how it works. Ugh. Defund bullies. Jason Dixon says, deep dive on the Constitution. Ooh. I like where your head's at, Jason. I like where your head's at. That's a good idea. Six Semper Tyrannis says, Constitution doesn't give us rights. The Constitution is we the people telling the government what our rights are so government protects those rights. All right. There you go. Okay. Good point. See, even more of a reason why I need to do a deep dive into the Constitution myself. I like that. I love that plan. Jennifer Aniston says, well, I don't know nothing about you either, punk. Well, thanks for super chatting, Jennifer. Appreciate that. Emerald D says, bought this to say I love me some Air. Also, rock on. Right? Isn't Air great? I mean, we kind of would be dead without air. It's pretty important. Adam's beard says, I'm the star of this wall. What do you guys think of my beard, huh? It's coming in. Look, I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Huh? It's not bad, right? I don't know. I'm having fun with it. I think I might let it grow out a little bit. I got some whites growing out actually. Can you see it? Got a couple of white guys, little grays. I'm getting old. That's what happens in this world, huh? Einar, thanks for the super chat. Oz says, my inclination to cynicism makes me want to chalk Attenborough's record to celebrity, but I've chosen to see it as a celebrity of a holy terror instead. You're not wrong. You know, he is a celebrity. You know, he does have a celebrity vibe because he's David Attenborough. Everyone knows him, knows his voice. You know, he's the narrator of nature videos, right? I mean, that's just a simple truth. So, yeah, but it's a celebrity. I like that, of the holy terra, of Earth. But that's how he's known, for being, a lover of Earth and bringing more light to amazing animals in the world and amazing climates, amazing places that we actually have. So let's see. Oh, I just had a super chat jump. Let me get back to where I was. Here we go. Stoner McMuffin says, privilege means power. It's rebranding. Well, I think they're rebranding it because they want to get rid of people who are in power. And it's weird because our government, as we just, because of our Constitution, is we the people. We say what the rights are so the government can protect those rights. Instead, they want to get rid of the government and have more power to the people. Like, China, for example, they have one person basically running the country, and that person has all the power. It's like, that's not a future I want to believe in. Alpha Zero Omega says, you need to watch a movie called Office Space. It's from the 90s and it's hilarious. Aniston is in it and it's okay, I guess, but do yourself a favor. Oh yeah, Office Space. Okay. I love that movie. It's a great movie. She's not the character I remember from that movie. There's also a Jim Carrey movie. What is it with Bruce Almighty? She's in there too. That's but again, she's not, she's not the reason I watched the movie. Jim Carrey was. So, let's see. Casperius says, COVID helps with depopulation. It makes it much harder to group up because of social distancing. This is one of the reasons why COVID will continue. Facepalm. I really want to just facepalm right now. Gosh. Scott, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Michael Hickson says, Adam, do the self-authoring program, build a plan, organize for the long-term goal, and sprinkle in the fun stuff on the side. Peace. Peace out, Michael. Thank you for that. CJ Hansen says, what do you think about that song, Eclipse Battlegrounds? Did I earworm you? Catchy damn tune. Yeah, it was actually pretty good. I did like it. It was a solid tune. Eric Burns says, Adam, thanks for spinning the UFO, not the news. Yeah, this would be that time where I'd actually spin it for you, but it's not there. That's okay. Oh, and we got another. There we go. Specific winner says, "Hey Adam, amazing show tonight. Just got back from my road trip, and you made the drive entertaining. Much love, brother. Everybody, please annihilate that like button. Annihilate it. Annihilate." Thank you very much for those kind words, though. I don't know if you recognize this this hoodie. This is the hoodie I was wearing from my infamous video that got banned from Facebook or got deleted from. We don't know if it was banned or just simply deleted. But I love this. Look at it. It's got "go do great things," but with "great" crossed out. Go do things, period. I love that. I think that's key. It's one of my mantras. Just go do things. Kelly Sell now says, "I saw Kamala preach about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but said Notorious B.I.G. instead of Notorious R.B.G. She should have. Was she supposed to say R.B.G.? She just said Notorious B.I.G. She also said Tupac was the greatest rapper alive. Nice. Brewmaster Monk says you should do some kind of limited run documentary series about the forefront of science and technology. That is basically what I am turning this show into. I want to talk about that. I want to bring light to the awesome stuff that is happening right now. The cool, amazing things that are happening in our technology and science worlds. So it's not going to be limited if I do a series like that. That's for sure. Shun says, I'm rather nervous of making a big move, but I believe it's for the better. Life is an adventure, and I'm overdue for my own story. Let's see what happens. Yes, Shun, I'm really proud of you. Thank you. This key. Getting out of your comfort zone is the best way to grow. You will grow. You will change. Change can be scary sometimes, but sometimes change is the best thing. You know, now I have my own show. I've got a couple thousand people hanging out with me every night. This is fantastic. I love the future that I believe in, my future. And I want everyone, that's what I want. I want people to believe in their future. Just believe in your future. You know, and this super chat shows me that you do, and that's amazing. So proud of you, Sean. Good job. Joe Hooper says, "I can't express how upsetting the casting announcements made me. The regional/cultural differences that make the Wheel of Time world come to life, making woke/PC casting choices ruins the cultural aspects of the world." Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do? They made their choices on the casting, and hopefully they don't, make it, because you think about it, it's like you read a book, whatever race you are, if you want to divide yourself into races, which I don't even like, it's one race, the human race, period. That's what I believe. We're all one race. So casting choices, we're all one race. Just because you see them in your mind as a certain way doesn't mean that the next person who, may look differently than you, has a different looking family than you, they probably imagine in their mind all the characters looking completely different than the way you imagine the characters in your mind. It doesn't bother me at all what color they are, what race they are. It doesn't matter. As long as the story maintains the same as the book, then that's what I want. The feel of the Wheel of Time. Period. That's what I want. And I'm not gonna just instantly assume that they've gone woke just because of their casting choices. That's ridiculous. I won't do it. Socialism is for figs says Muslim is not a race, it is a religion. Okay. Did I say that? Okay. Short Bus Dave Cedino, thank you for becoming a member and upgrading it to disciple. Thank you very much right away. Ding, 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 ding. I would be lighting up the UFO for you right now. Let's see. Michael, thank you for that super chat. Jason says, metal band called Blind Guardian has 2 songs about the Wheel of Time. One is titled Wheel of Time. The other is Ride into Obsession. You should check them out. I'm definitely doing that. Let me just write it down. There we go. The Gray Gamer says, I want to join Space Force, but I'm uneasy because I'm working hard towards training for another carrier right now. So I'm stuck on what I should do. Well, I mean, I don't see I don't really know what your situation is, but if you want to join Space Force, it's clearly something you want, and I say go for it. Why not? Chris Bound says, super pissed today, Adam. Redbubble took down all my Free Kyle Rittenhouse designs. They have BLM all over the site, but not Free Kyle but Free Kyle is not allowed. Man, that whole thing is crazy. They're really polarizing and putting everyone on two sides of this warfare to really divide us all. We got to stop that. We got to not be divided. Let's come together as that's what we need. Sparky says voter fraud is fraud by an individual voter. Organized voter fraud or fraud by election officials is more dangerous. It's called election fraud. Good point, Sparky. And that's actually what we're seeing. This is straight up election fraud. Craziness. Big Mac Attack says, hey, Adam, have you heard of the guy who genetically modified yeast to produce spider silk? It was a 10-year passion project, and he's going to open source once he can upscale his production methods. Wow. Good for him for open sourcing it. That's amazing. That's what we need. We got to stop. I mean, maybe to an extent, because, he's a 10-year passion project. He should be, number one, glorified for his incredible discovery. So we don't actually have to. A spider silk is incredibly strong, and if you could modify yeast to make it, that means we could grow it or design it on another planet maybe or in space and use it for building the building blocks for whatever, anything. It's pretty incredible. I'd like to look more into that. Thank you, Big Mac. Mark Robertshaw says, do you like space? Do you like building things? Do you like combat play? A game called Avorion has multiplayer. Just don't let Trumpy Bear play. Well, he doesn't play anything anyway, so. Avorion, though. That sounds right up my alley. I'm going to definitely check that out. Thank you, Mr. Robertshaw. Excuse me. I still have some coffee from earlier. White Thatch says, if anyone hasn't mentioned, you should watch PCU from 1994. I don't know what that is, but I will check it out after the show. Gerald Armstrong says, Adam, you should watch a YouTube channel called History Matters. He's hilarious and makes learning history fun. Oh, maybe I'll check that out. Thank you. Desert Bandit, hey, what's good? Forgot to mention, I'm free from Adam Discord jail. Shout out to your mods, the Salty Army, Monkey Militia, for letting me in and making good memes. Much love to you and what you do, Adam. Well, thank you for coming back and being cool. I do have a Discord. I have an incredible mod team that kind of just assembled itself out of one person that I knew would be solid, and then another in real life friend of mine who's helping also. Really brought my Discord together. My Discord is really coming together well. Thank you all for joining it too. It's a cool place to join, and actually a lot of people give me cool story ideas. We have a channel just for story ideas, and it's great. I go in there sometimes, and not sometimes, every day I go and look and see what people are posting, and it's incredible. So thank you. Appreciate all the help there. Mark Robertshaw again says, I've lost respect for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's a shame. I still enjoy his acting, but it's just sad. Yeah, so I guess I haven't watched the video, but I guess it's like a pretty cringy interview with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson interviewing Biden and Kamala, whatever, horrible. Yeah, and one thing that I noticed is he didn't sit down with the president and vice president. It was only them. So he made an informed decision based on just interviewing Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Now, whatever. He can vote for whoever he wants. It doesn't matter. to me. Like, that's, I don't care who people vote for. I care about Biden running and Biden not being fit. That's who I bring my focus to. And the things Kamala has done. I don't want to make fun of people for voting for them. People can vote who they want to. That's fine. I don't like that. A lot of people actually attacked The Rock, and let him vote for who he wants to vote for. That's fine. It is kind of weird that celebrities are using their platform to, try to push this old man, but okay, that's fine. I just don't want to make fun of people. I don't want people to make fun of me or just because who I'm voting for, or assume things about me, assume that they know my character because of who I'm voting for, because there are people out there. I know it for a fact that people now instantly label me a racist, which is ridiculous, or I'm sure many other things just because of who I'm voting for, Donald Trump, and that's fine. I don't let these people bother me. These people, they make a point to attack a person instead of, that's what it is. They just want to bring the person down. They want to shut it out. It's like, man, it doesn't matter to me what you think of me. I don't care. I'm going to do me no matter what. If you think that I am whatever, and you have no, proof, you have no reason other than the hat, the beanie that I put on every so often, it's like, get out of here. You know nothing. And speaking of which, Hillary Clinton said, make America great again. Bill Clinton said that about when she was running in 2008. Bill Clinton said, make America great again in 1992 when he won the presidency. Reagan said it when he became president, make America great again. That's not a new phrase. That's not something that Donald Trump magically came up with. He just said, I'm going to use that. That's awesome. Make America great again. And all of a sudden, people got super pissed. Oh, how dare he say that? That's super racist. It's like, what? So was it racist when Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton were using it for her campaign before Obama kind of stole the presidency from her? She's just getting the presidency stolen from her all the time, isn't she? It's so silly. Stop attacking the person. Let's make politics about the politicians and make sure that they are upholding themselves. Stop attacking Trump supporters. That's ridiculous. Stop. I don't attack Biden supporters. That's what annoys me about this Dwayne Johnson video. Okay, that's fine. He can vote for who he wants to. If he doesn't want to sit on both sides, that's fine. It's sad. I think he should. I think he should have a conversation with Trump, have the same kind of interview. Maybe I'll get around to watching that interview you had, but it's just, I've been rather busy. Yesterday I had a pretty awesome photo shoot in the woods. We had a flaming piano. Man, it was really cool. We actually had it out in the middle of a lake. It's I can't wait to see the pictures. They're going to be awesome. All right, Socialism is for Fig says, I said that because you don't criticize Ilhan Omar based on race, but they weren't. It was her religion. Oh, okay. All right. So you were talking to the chat because the chat was making fun of her because of her religion. Well, neither of those things matter to me. You can worship whoever you want. This is America. Number one, Constitution, freedom of religion. You worship whoever you want to worship. That's fine with me. Doesn't bother me. It doesn't change my opinion of you. Neither does your race. If you lie to me, if you kick me in the shin and laugh about it, if you steal from me, then we got issues. And that could be anyone. No matter what religion you are, no matter what race you are, anyone can be that person. Period. All humans can be terrible humans. All humans have the ability to be amazing humans. Period. That should be on the forefront of everyone's conversations. By the way, remember, all humans have the capability of being loved and loving others. Done. God. This conversation, so many people just ignore that fact. No, we're all different. No, there's all these different, we're all different. Everyone's, they're pitying me and making fun of me because I'm different. It's like, no, you're wrong. You're victimizing yourself. Mark Robershaw, they will not divide us. Thank you, Mark. Exactly. Don't try to divide us. We're humans. We got here by being together, by being communities, teaching each other the ways to live. That's how it works. We're going to continue. Short Bus Dave says all Discord is suspect. Shout out to Attenborough Cafe. Right on. That's the name of the chat, the voice channel in my Discord. The Discord is called Adam's Family. If anyone's looking for it. Let's see. Philosophy 101 says, with all this talk about space, reminds me of that one scene from the original Red Alert game about space. 10, 15 second long. Very funny. I don't know that one, but maybe I'll check it out. Gokarna says, sorry, I am more than an hour late. Did you talk about New York Times Trump tax report? When asked about Trump, was very aggressive yesterday. Looks bad. You know, I'm just gonna. I didn't talk about it today, but you know, that's pretty in depth. Okay, to really understand taxes, business tax. You know, I don't know the whole thing. It was a lot to grasp, a lot of things, and I watched Tim's video on it, and he rocks it out of the park. So if you want to know about the whole Trump tax thing, I'm not going to do that because I don't like to necessarily talk about stuff that I don't know about, and I want to know what I'm talking about at least so I can talk to you guys about it. And you know, Tim does a great job of breaking down the tax report. So go to Tim's channel and check it out. It's just, I think it's Tim Pool. I think it's on Tim Pool's channel, not Timcast. It might be Timcast, not Timcast IRL. Although maybe they'll talk about it tonight. I don't know. Yeah. I watched Tim for the news segments. They are quite good. He's great at his job. Big Mac Attack says apparently he used genetic material from black widow spiders, which has produced some of the strongest spider silk in nature. Wow. So he like spliced genetic material from black widows and yeast to make synthetic spider web, but it's actually real spider silk. That is really cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into that. Mark Robertshaw says, need to rewatch Team America. It's even more relevant today with Hollywood elites siding with China instead of North Korea. Oh, man, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I should rewatch that. It's pretty good. Alit Kadera says, hypothetical, would it be justified for the government to protect the right of the older Siamese twin to medically remove the other, even if death is the expected result? I need a good argument. Wow, what a question. I don't know. I mean, are they old enough to speak? For one, you know, a lot of times this kind of procedure may happen before they're even old enough to speak and you know, be able to fend for themselves. What if one is killing the other one? You know, I feel like there's a lot of a lot of variables here that may change what this is about. I mean, you said an older Siamese twin. Okay, so obviously, well, does that mean that they're older in life so they can speak for themselves? Or are you talking about the one that popped out first? Because aren't Siamese twins connected? So how would you say which is the older one? Just because one came out first, they still are attached. It's one being still. I don't know. That is a really interestingly deep conversation. Wow. So I don't know if I have an answer or an argument for you. I don't think, I guess I'll give you something. Would it be justified for the government to protect the right of the older Siamese twin? I don't think so. I feel like they both have rights, and it's it's a tough conversation. Mark Robershaw says, spin UFO. It's gone. Desert Bandit says, Adam is the Chad we all needed. Have you read the Kybalion? I think you might enjoy it. I don't know, but thank you for that compliment. I think being a Chad is a compliment, right? Mark Robertshaw says, I heard Boston Dynamics bot will be debating Trump wearing a Joe Biden mask tomorrow because anyone voting for Joe wouldn't even notice. Zing! Wow, that is spicy. Funny. Did you see that video of the robot Boston Dynamics dog walking down the street, turning and like snapping pictures and like checking people out. Who knows? It could be reading people's temperatures with like thermal imaging or imagery or whatnot. Craziness. It's a crazy world we could be potentially be heading towards. Let's see. John Spack says, Matt Damon. Is that it? Do the voice or I'll be sad. We were talking about Team America World Police, so Matt Damon. I like Matt Damon actually, so I think he's a good actor. I liked him in. He's pretty much Matt Damon in his movies, but I don't know. I enjoy it. You know, it's funny because I used to like Matt Damon more than Ben Affleck because they were, they kind of started together. They were friends. They wrote that. I don't remember what movie they wrote together, and starred in it, and it was a good movie. But then Matt Damon kind of took off, and Ben Affleck kind of was like, he did Daredevil. That's what it was. It kind of was like, oh, it was so cringy because I love Daredevil. I always liked Daredevil, and it just turned me off from Ben Affleck. I was like, man. But then the new DC Batman Justice League, I like Ben Affleck as Batman. He kind of does a pretty good job, and maybe people make fun of me for this, but I don't care. It's like Batman made me like Ben Affleck again. So random. Someone in chat said he's so horrible, but he's horrible in some movies. But he's actually I liked him in I liked him in Batman. So, whatever. I'm not upset. Someone says he's a great Bruce Wayne. Thank you. All right, let's see. Mark Robershaw says, spin the guitar. Oh, I could do that. I could spin it. Was that a good enough spin? Oh, sorry, guitar. What time is it? I got 8 minutes. Big Mac Attack, thank you for that there super chat. I appreciate that. Just Good Will Hunting. That's what that movie was. Yes, thank you. Yeah, Good Will Hunting. Yeah, it was a pretty good movie. I don't really remember it though. Chuck Morris says it's a terrible movie. Yeah, well, whatever. I don't know what to play. I'm done with the super chats. I got a couple little bit of time. He didn't read my chat from the beginning of the show. Wait, what? I don't see your chat anywhere. But you have super chat. Oh, there it is. Batgoat. Sorry for missing that. I can't believe that. Batgoat said, spin it. Where's the UFO? Well, it's not here. It is. It has flown away, and it's okay. Maybe one day it'll return to me. We'll see. We'll see, won't we? All right. I don't know the Doom song. Actually, I could have my buddy teach it to me. All right. Let me go back to the beginning. Oh, here we go. Hydro says, do you think it's egotistical for a woman who has 7 kids to be SCOTUS? Shouldn't she be at home taking care of her kids while her husband works? What? In this climate, like nowadays, like she's a freaking boss. To have that many kids and still be able to rock out like an incredible job, like why would that? What do you, is it egotistical? Like I don't know. She's a constitutional supporter. I like that she supports the Constitution, and I mean I'm not a religious person, but it's I think it's ridiculous to think that just because she has kids doesn't mean she can't do a job. She'd have to move her family, but I'm sure that I mean she drove to DC on Saturday to do that, to accept the nomination. So she's not too far. I don't think it's egotistical. I think it's amazing. Women can do everything men can do. I mean, sometimes not as well, but that can work and vice versa also. Sometimes, women are better than men at some things. It's all situational. But no, I don't think it's egotistical. John Spack says, your songs would blend perfectly in Farm Simulator. That's not a dig. I love that game. Awesome. I've never actually played that. Let's see. Mark Robertshaw says, Adam lost custody of the UFO. No comment. No comment. Jake Dog says, play America, Team America theme song. I love Mrs. Crigler. I will let her know that you said that, Jake Dog. Well, that's the end of the show, everyone. And I appreciate y'all coming by. I am not going to be in tomorrow. Tomorrow is the debate. I am not going to be live streaming the debate. I know a lot of people wanted me to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm actually moving. I'm going to be breaking down my studio tonight. As soon as I end stream, I'm going to break everything down. And I'm going to be driving out to the new spot tomorrow. Hopefully I can do it in one move. That would be fantastic because I don't want to drive that much. It's lots of driving. But that's okay. I will be back Wednesday night, 8 or 6:30. Gosh, I always do that. It's brutal. Yeah, and I won't be streaming on Twitch either because I have to pack everything down, so I won't have anything to stream on. So thank you very much for joining tonight, everybody. If you haven't, smash that like button on the way out and subscribe if you haven't. Share the video too so everyone can watch my channel and maybe help me grow. So thank you very much. I will see you all Wednesday night at 6:30 in my new location, in my new studio that I'm going to be building tomorrow. So thank you, everybody, and I will see you next time.